So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Allison Phillips. How's everyone doing today?
Good.
Awesome, awesome. So I want you guys to meet my awesome moderator, Miss Gina. She may look like she's like very calm and stuff, but she don't play.
Hello.
She does not play. So what she's gonna do is give you the house rules, and then we'll go after that.
Okay, everybody. So the room is being recorded. If you have something that if you have a question, you can put it in the chat, and then we'll come back to it. And then we are at 35 minutes for the room at this time. Okay. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So I want to ask you guys, what is your what have you heard about money? You guys can either put it in the chat or say it out. What have you heard about money? So my thing is, I heard about money grows on trees. Money doesn't grow on trees. What are some of the things you guys have heard about money? Okay, makes the world go round. Okay, live within your means. Okay, David, save first. Awesome. I ain't never heard that one yet. I was growing up, we ain't hear that one. That's good. Yes, it is the root of all evil. Okay, your dad told you, that's awesome. Okay, okay. Save your money for a rainy day. That's good. Money makes the world go round. Awesome, awesome. So we are pretty much, how our mind is set is from how we grew up. See, I grew up with not knowing about money. You know, I saw my parents pay their bills and stuff like that. But you know how you always go to the store, ask your parents to buy this and buy that. They say, I don't have no money. I don't have no money. Like, how you don't have any money? So when I came into this business, my goal was to be an example for the community. Okay. And so all of you, what are your biggest financial challenges right now?
I would say not having enough to save or to invest the way I want to.
Okay. And I see somebody said planning for the future, retirement, debt for business, credit card debt. Okay. Awesome. Okay, great. Thank you. So a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Little Rock, Arkansas, and I moved here in California, oh my God, since when Jesus was born. So I've been here quite a while. And I started working at a group home with kids. And I love doing that. I love the community, and okay, good, student loan. I love giving back to the community. So when I was introduced to this business, I said I was not interested in selling life insurance. But I said, okay, then when I went to my job, one day, they didn't pay me my money. They didn't pay me, Allison, her money. So I wasn't too happy about that one right there. I didn't like the fact that I was relying on one source of income to come in and then not have anything else. So when I joined this business, it was first so I can make some income. But as the business started to, when you have your own business, you have the ability to think beyond where you are right now. And so now my goal is to help as many families I can, mainstream families, especially in our community, who do not know about money. We know how to spend it. We know how to be a slave to it. And we rely on other resources when we can have an opportunity to build generational wealth ourselves, okay? So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the company and then go into who we are and how it's possible we can help you, okay? So we've been in business since 1977. We started by 85 people, mostly teachers and coaches. We have more than 5 million lives insured through us. Over 2.5 million clients have investment with us. And we are not only in the United States, we're in Canada and Puerto Rico. We're the largest financial marketing company in the world. Okay. So we don't do any type of marketing. So anytime you see us, it's from word of mouth, referral, or just meeting people. So with Primerica, we've partnered up with a lot of companies who decide they want to partner up with us. Okay. We own our own life insurance product. So how many of you people have life insurance right now outside of your job? Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So with that life insurance, can you borrow from it? Can you borrow from your life insurance right now?
I have nothing in a comment and no hands. No hands.
David said, I don't know,
comment.
honestly. Okay. So the
There we
fact
go.
that you don't, I think so, but at a fee. Okay. I've seen a no. Okay. So if you have a life insurance and you can borrow from it, that's a cash value policy. So what they're telling you is, okay, we don't think that you're capable enough to discipline yourself and not have money on your own. So you're going to use us a resource to borrow. Okay. So how does that make you feel knowing that if you have an emergency, you have to rely on them to take care of you? Doesn't feel too good, right? Okay. So one of the things we help you do is build your financial home. Okay. We start out helping you protect your income. If you are married, or even if you're single or married with children, there's someone depending on your income. So if something happens to you, not only you go away, but your income go away as well. Now, I'm not married, I don't have any children, but I have nieces and nephews that I want to take care of. And I do not want my family having to figure out how they're going to take care of me when it was my responsibility. Okay. We help you set up your emergency fund, debt elimination, retirement, college fund, and other debts, dreams, and goals. So right now, I want you to take time to write out what are your dreams and goals. Just write them out, not in a text, but just write out what are your dreams and goals. We'll just take a minute to do that. Okay, so based off your dreams and goals, what are your financial plans to make that happen? So one of my goals and dreams is to have my own nonprofit organization for girls. I mean, I love working with group home kids. I just don't want to work. I don't want to be, tied down to nobody's, paycheck or going in when I have to go in. So in order for me to do that, I have to have some other income or my own income. Or maybe one of your goals and dream is to have something set out for your family, or not have, or telling your children no, not because you don't have it, because they don't need to have it. Or being able to retire your husband, retire your wife, okay? So what we do is we educate on bypassing the middleman, become an owner and not a loaner, okay? So the whole purpose is to have ownership and not be a dependent on something or somebody else, okay? So anytime you put your money in banks, credit union, insurance company, you are making them the primary investor. And federal law says whoever the primary investor is ownership, okay? So how many of you currently have either checking account, credit union, or anything like that? Both, good, awesome. Okay, so anytime you put your money in a bank's credit union insurance company, you making the primary investor. So it get 90%. And they kick us back 10%, which is spread all of everyone in the banks and credit unions. Okay. So how many of you, I know sometimes when you get your quarterly statement, they say, oh, you make a whole $1.50. I know you're not excited about that, but make a whole $1.50. That's because they are the primary investor. So what we do is we educate our families to invest directly with the global economy themselves. So you can become an owner. Okay. Keep your banks and your credit unions what they're meant for. Pay your bills, direct deposit, and things of that nature. But when it comes to investing, you need to have ownership. Okay. So the rule of 72, so it talks about rule of 70, how long is it going to take your money to double? Okay. So let's say your money is in the bank and they're going to give you 3%. It's going to take 3 divided by 72. It's going to take your money 24 years in order to double. And how many 24 years periods do you have? I'm just saying. In 24 years, just add 24 years to your life. Can you live off $20,000 as a retirement a year? Okay. 6%. Credit union say we're going to give you 6%. Let's say 36 years from now, your money's going to double to 80,000. Adding 36 years to your life, can you live off $80,000 without eating beans and rice? And maybe some water. Okay. I'm just saying. So the global economy has been doing 12% between a 4 and 5 year period. Okay. So this is part of having ownership, And so let's say 12 divided by 72, let's say in 36 years or 48 years, add 48 years to your life. Can you live off close to $3 million?
Mm-hmm.
You can eat some steak and potatoes with that, right? Some wine and all the other stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you better believe it. You live comfortably, sure will. Now, this is talking about life insurance. Okay, so I had one lady who I sat down with, and she had a son, 12 years old, and she did not have any life insurance. She didn't see the importance of having life insurance. She felt that her mother or her best friend was going to take care of her son if something should happen to her. So I asked her, I said, okay, so when you pass away, that means your income is gone. And so you're confident that your mother, his grandmother, is going to be able to financially take care of him the way you want to. And she said, yes. And I said, well, did you have this conversation with your mother yet? She said, oh, not yet, but I'm confident. Okay. That type of thing bothers me when you have the child and you are financially responsible for that child in living and in passing. Okay. So it's very important that I sit down with people to make sure they have, one thing, they have life insurance, and another thing to make sure they have life insurance they do not have to borrow from. So that's what Plan A is universal whole life or variable. And they say for the first 2 to 5 years, you could have a negative return on your investment. Is that good or bad?
That's bad.
Okay. They say you only gonna get 1 to 5% return on your money. Is that good or bad? I just told you global economy is doing 12%, right? Okay. If you want to withdraw your money, it must be in the form of loan between 6 to 8%. So Victoria, you said yours, you can borrow from yours, but at a fee. So let's look at this again. If you want to withdraw your money, it has to be in the form of a loan. So if I'm withdrawing money and it's supposed to be my money, but I have to pay it back, whose money is it?
It's the bank.
It's the bank. It's an insurance company, right? Because let's think about it. Can you borrow your own car? Can you borrow your own money? No, it's your money. They have the right to defer your withdrawal request for 6 months. So if you have money, the cash value, have it in there, they have the right to hold it for 6 months. So if you have an emergency, can emergency wait 6 months?
No.
Absolutely not. When you die, your family could lose their investment. Okay, so that's plan A. So I sat down with someone a couple of weeks ago, and she had this cash value policy. And when I went over her policy, she did not realize all these rules that were in it, and didn't realize that her cash value was at 0, even though she had been putting close to $150 a month in there. So plan B is just straight investment, because we educate on buy, term, and invest the difference. Your money's credited to you immediately, 7% potential return on your money, no fee to withdraw, guaranteed to have your money within 7 days. And when you should die, your family will get your investment. Okay, so which one sounds better? Plan A or plan B?
Plan B.
Awesome.
Plan B.
All right. So this is a typical cash value life insurance, buy, term, and invest the difference. Okay. So here you have cash value life insurance. It's always going to be more expensive. Okay. And that's whole life universal variable. So you have John and Mary, they have 150,000 on themselves, and they're paying $298 a month. Now, unless they have some bad health, that is a lot of money. Okay. So they're paying $298 a month. And the first 2 to 5 years, their cash value is 0. So then you have a buy, term, and invest the difference. So they went to Primerica, they were able to double their coverage. And since they were used to paying $298, they put $123 on their life insurance and invested the difference. Okay. So that's what we teach: buy, term, and invest the difference. Okay. Because in the early years, you have young children, high debt, and a mortgage. As you get older, your needs change, right? So your children are grown out the home. Now you need money to live off on. So the whole thing is, we want you to have a financial game plan for yourself. I know you guys, I'm in California and you guys are all over. I know you guys have seen older people lurking at Walmart, grocery stores, Starbucks. And it's not because they wanted to be there. It's because they have to be there. Okay. So does anyone have any questions?
Comment. I think in some ways, I mean, I go back to the one about borrowing from your health insurance. Instead of, I think it's easier said than done, but if you were to put $20 away every week or $10 away every week, that would help you build your own wealth instead of having to depend on someone or some other vehicle to help you on a rainy day. I mean, sometimes things do come up and you might not have that $10, but think about if you had $1, whatever you have, drop it in a bowl, drop it in a jar, because it's easier to, to take money from yourself versus, because I remember back in the day when my mother and father, when they had that insurance, they both borrowed from it. And I remember, I'm just kind of sketchy with the story. I think my brother or my sister wanted money and my mother ended up cashing it out. And then something happened. And I thought she had money in there when she passed away. And it was like, no, ain't no money in here.
No, once you take all your money out, that means you relinquish your life insurance.
Right.
So that means that she did not have ownership of it. And so Dave Rasmus, Susan Army, they all talk about buy, term, and invest the difference, because life insurance is for one vehicle and retirement was totally something different, something else. And so what I would like to offer you guys, if you guys want a financial needs analysis done for you, put your information in the chat. I'll do that for you. And I'll also send you guys a How Money Works book as well. And there's no cost for the consultation whatsoever, but you all will get a game plan. So at least you'll know what you need to do in order to move forward, versus wait until it's time to retire and say, oh, let me see what I need to get paid.
Yes. It's very vital. I mean, us as business owners, and even if you're working, a job is not guaranteed. And your business, you know, you need to plan for your future, because you think about it, as you see, like you said, you see the elderly still working, and they're working because they need those health benefits and that life insurance or whatever, because they didn't have the mindset of planning for the future. And that's what we always want to plan for. I was reading a book recently, and it talked about how our minds are so stuck on today that we don't plan for the future. And I know that, you know, life is not promised, but the point is that you still need to have a plan. Because
You have to have a
you
plan.
have to have a plan. You can't think about, well, I might not be here. Well, what happens, you know, nowadays, and since we all being able to be more, you know, less stressed, because we're not running around in terms of we have to run to this office, run here, run there. You could be more flexible with your time using Zoom and WebEx. We have that time to take relaxing, and it's helping us to get more healthier and taking the stress off of us and helping us live probably a longer life.
And plus, I think if, regardless if you're going to be here or not, what about the next generation?
Correct.
We always have to start all over again, because there's nothing there's a legacy. We're not leaving a legacy. We're leaving a legacy of debt, poverty, and each one has to start all over again.
That's so true. That's a big point. I think about my my brother who's no longer living. And I remember I had that discussion with him many times about his twins, about planning for their tomorrow. And that was something that we had a bone of contention about, because I said, even if you put $10 in the bank every time you get paid, that's still a plan for their tomorrow. And he would look at me because, you know, unfortunately, our mindset is based on where we came from. And so our parents didn't do that. So he didn't think about that. I'm like, but we have to change that cycle. So you need to now take care of your generation by helping them build wealth and not being out here with nothing. So start giving them something so they at least have a way to go, instead of saying, well, I have no dollars. But yes, you do. You have some dollars to start your life with. Well, Allison, I want, based on your experience, because you've been around for quite some time, what are some interesting things that you have picked up over the time that you can share with us? Like, is there some strategies or some things that you picked up that's said that, you know, look at this or do this, that you can share with us today?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I started implementing, which everything is just like physical work. It's mental work as well. It's supposed like putting yourself on a budget. So I started doing putting a budget, how much you want to spend for eating out, how much you're going to spend for groceries, and use cash. And whatever else you have that is going to be taken out for anything else, like automatic bills take out, like how much do you need for gas? Put that in an envelope. How much you need for groceries? How much is going to be your fund money? How much? And once you run out, that's it. Because every time you swipe that card, debit card, money comes out. And then you look at the end of the month, you say, I ain't got no money. Where my money at? And that's one of the things we do help. We help you with a budget. I had one lady, I was going over her budget. She was spending $500 a month eating out. $500 eating out, and only $150 for groceries. So I said, well, how about we do this? How about we do this in half? You spend $250 for that. Let's get you properly protected and start an investment so you can have a portfolio versus just eating all your money at one time. And so once you get on a pattern of doing that every week or putting it together, you're intentionally thinking about what your money is going to do versus you allowing your money to do what it wants to do. And so how can we as people plan for the future if we're just automatically just going to Starbucks, automatically, eating out, automatically just getting snacks and not thinking about what our money is doing?
I like that. So you said, so that, you know, and I'm thinking about today, in today's world, a lot of people don't believe in cash. They use more so their debit cards, you know, because that's just the way of the mindset. So for the person that says, well, I just not going to put money in the envelope. So then you have to probably say to them, okay, well, this is your budget for how much you're going to spend using your card, and you have to stick to that then, right?
Or have a different account. I have an account for my house fund, everything that has to do with my house. Then you have a debit card for fun, my fund money.
Hmm.
You have that for that. So you still have to know what your budget is for your house. The house can be for rent, gas, water, groceries, whatever that looks like. And then you put a budget for fun money, a debit card for fun money. How much you're gonna put in that, and whatever you run out, get my hair done, get my pedicure, get my manicure, go out to eat, whatever you want to use for that month, you have that.
Okay. That's interesting. So then set up, I like that idea. So that's even the alternative. So you would have a debit card for each pot of money. And then
That's what I have.
Right. And so when you're done, you're done.
You're done.
Okay.
If you're done for that week, or however you get paid, every 2 weeks, every once a month, you say, this is my budget for groceries. This is my budget for eating out, and put it in according to each account. You can get debit cards with different pictures on it. It doesn't have to be the same. And that way you're having control over your money.
I like that suggestion.
So I guess your homework for yourself will be to go over your debit statement and seeing what you're spending your money on.
So what is your thoughts on like off the top, like you think about like church, they say, you know, put your 10% tithe to the church immediately when you get paid. What is your thoughts on, as soon as you get paid, you put that money in the bank for saving and you just can't touch it?
You talking about for tithing?
No, I'm talking about for saving now. So have that same kind of concept, that the same thing you do for tithing, you do for saving your money to start.
Yeah,
your
you need to
wealth.
pay yourself first.
Okay.
10%, 20%, 5%, whatever you do, pay yourself first. Your creditors, they're gonna get paid. If they don't, they, you know, it is what it is. But you pay yourself first, because you have to look out for your future. And so we have a whole plan where we can put a portfolio together for that as well. Just a whole plan. That's what the whole financial needs analysis is about. So you know where you are and where you need to go in order to meet your goal. And then in 90 days, at the end of the year, let's see where you are.
Mm.
In another 9 days, let's check and see where you are. Because it's a good feeling of knowing that you are more in control of your money than letting your money just do whatever it wants to do.
Yes, this was very informative. I appreciated the tidbits that you gave here, and then thinking about how we need to change our mindset on the use of planning for our future, but also the use of what life insurance is really all about.
Yes.
That's
It's only meant for what is needed for, not to borrow from it. It's not an investment. If you have a life insurance and they tell you that you have an investment, that if you're not getting quarterly statements, you do not have an investment.